24 Lowell Street, Peabody, Mass. At this time, I'd like to suspend the regular meeting and enter into the continuance of the public hearing. Section 1 of the zoning ordinance of map City of Peabody, entitled City of Peabody zoning map, April 28, 2011, as amended, hereby further amended. The amendment of section 6.16.1 residential overlay district by adding the following parcels to the land of residential overlay district. Assessors map 035, parcel 025, and numbered 535 Lowell Street. Assessors map 027, parcel 006A, and numbered 8 Bourbon Street.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of the zoning amendment residential overlay district, a recessed public hearing, I would move to receive a communication from Attorney Jack Kelty dated August 31st, 2023, requesting an extension of time until September 21st, 2023. Move to receive and grant extension.
Second.
Second, Dr. Otto. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. This time, public hearing. And the first item on the agenda is 0 Prospect Street. You got a 0 Prospect? I continue it to the date. Yeah.
I have 54 Prospect.
You have a 0 Prospect? Anyone here on 0 Prospect? This is continued from the 8/17 meeting. Action was continued to 9/21/2023.
I'll jump on the saver.
Next item on the agenda is 54 Prospect Street.
Mr. Chairman, excuse me, approval of minutes?
Oh,
Thank you.
I missed that.
That's okay.
We'll get it after Prospect Street. You have 54 Prospect.
Mr. Chairman, in the matter of 54 Prospect Street, move to receive a communication from Attorney John Kelty dated August 31, 2023, requesting an extension of time till September 21st, 2023. Move to allow extension of time.
Second.
Second, Dr. Otto. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the 8/17/2023 meeting.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve the minutes of the meeting of August 17th, 2023.
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. 47 Tremont Street, map 75, lot 164. Attorney Kelty?
For the record, my name is John Kelty. I have offices, I'm an attorney, and I have offices at 40 Lowell Street in Peabody, and I'm appearing on behalf of the project at 47 Tremont Street in Peabody. And in this instance, we are awaiting reviews from Robert Langley that are being done in conjunction with the filing we made at Conservation Commission and the filing we made with the site plan review. I have met on 2 occasions with Mr. Langley. Most recently, we were able to provide him with memorandums from the original approval that would assist in showing what was done back then and how much would need to be done now and how many changes there were. I am appearing, however, this evening in an effort to kind of bring the board up to date with where we are. Mr. Ford has on a number of occasions asked for an as-built. And we did provide, in this most recent filing, we did provide as sheet 2 an as-built, which I have a copy of. And then what I brought with me this evening, I was kind of hopeful that table, which ain't there, would be there, so that we could take a look at this, but perhaps I can describe. I brought with me a 2015 plan which showed the Bonfiglio building, which is built, completed, and has an occupancy. That is the building up in the front, which is now on Lot 2A. That is completed, and when you compare it to the original 2015 site plan, the site development plan, it is very, very close to what was originally proposed in terms of size of the building, shape of the building, and then also everything with respect to grading and stormwater management has been accomplished. The only difference is in that particular building is the finished floor elevation is slightly higher than was initially proposed. And what that results in is it's a tiny little lift that members probably saw, at least those members that were on the site that day, that when you're on the unfinished pavement, there is no top coat to the pavement at this time, but there is a slight elevation of the finished grades so that water would not just enter into the building, but would instead follow the course that it is intended to follow. And then the other major unfinished portions are the entire front site, which was purchased and is today owned by Ahmad Farhat. He purchased the land several years ago. It was his intention to build a small strip mall that facing Tremont Street. He would bring his convenience store from, which was then on Central Street. He would reopen that up at this particular site, and then there would be probably one or two empty portions of the premises that he was hopeful he could get some local business, such as maybe a dry cleaner or not a convenience store because it wouldn't be big enough, but somebody that would fit in with the neighborhood, and that was spec at that time. Unfortunately, Mr. Farhat's life has changed in an instant with the unrest in Lebanon, which is his home country, and there is some family money tied up in Lebanon that he has been unable to get out, and also there has been a huge devaluation in currency in Lebanon. So Bob Danisco has elected to enter into a purchase and sale agreement and buy that lot back. And what we are now proposing for that lot is same size, shape facility, but it will now become a storage facility, personal storage. The board has had questions about when are you going to finish? When is this going to be done? We did have an on-site meeting. We did file an as-built as page 2 of our filing, and that demonstrates that Lot 1 is completed. The Lot 2A, which is the site where Michael Bonfiglio is operating his landscape, that is finished. Lot 1A now shows on our most recent as-built as an empty lot, and that is where we're proposing the storage. That empty lot is empty because Mr. Farhat permits expired. Bob cannot go forward with his repurchase without having site plan review. We are proposing that the treatment of that land as to elevations, et cetera, are all going to be the same. We're going to follow the same pattern with respect to stormwater management, in as much as that has already been approved by the Conservation Commission, and now we're filed with your site plan. That particular, we're also filing Conservation Commission for this building. Along the way, the board has noted some difficulty with respect to why is it taking us 8 years. I think that's a matter of economics. Bob thought he had the gym built and that would be the end of it. Mr. Farhart never went forward, so Bob is now going to repurchase that and finish that front lot. There is a big section that is unpaved at the rear of the gym. For those that were on site the day of that on-site meeting, most of us parked down at the rear of the premises. We have blocked off, re-blocked off the gate that takes you out to Webster Street. There is a whole section here that is unpaved because our original approvals called for that to be pervious pavement versus impervious pavement. And you do not install the pervious pavement until you've got the site and siltation, and that open area in the front has got to be under managed, or else all of our pervious pavement will fill with sands, silts, fines, and once it's installed, it'll be almost non-functional at its installation. So if we can get our we've got a number of rain gardens are installed, where they show on our page 2 as the as-built plan. The biggest area, there has been some failing of some support walls. Bob has a permit and is rebuilding a block wall adjacent to the Haven for Hunger. That was the subject of a work stoppage while Commissioner St. Pierre reviewed some filings from the structural engineer that had to be engaged for the construction of that wall. And there's work being done. Bob replaced a fence, which was not part of any approval that he had, but he did replace a fence that had fallen down at the Luso American. And one interesting aspect is on our 2015 plan, we do not show a sewer line heading from our property through our property down into Webster Street. That was a request made through our conservation filings as a sewer overflow mechanism. So there has been a history of some undersized sewer system out on Tremont and the neighborhoods north of Tremont Street, up near the school and the Carroll School in those neighborhoods. We have installed a sewer, which we are not, that's not actually what we tie into. We tie into the ordinary sewer on Tremont, but this supplies an extra overage in the event that our system existing in the streets, Tremont Street and north of there, if they are overburdened with effluent, then at that juncture, that overflowing effluent would be received, taken through our property, and then enter into the system down on Walnut and eventually down to South Essex Sewerage. So it's a good thing. It's not necessary for our project. It was a project that we were able to assist the city with, and I'm happy to do so. Now the issue is that pipe is in. It is not centered in our easement. The as-built plan that we did provide shows where the actual sewer line is, and the Public Services Department has demanded that it move to the center of the easement in as much as in the event that we have to work on it, or we as a city, in the event that they've got to work on it, they have the easement to get in there, but there's a physically they would be too close to the building and too close to the sideline of the easement, and so they'd like us to move a section of that to the center of the easement, and we have actually $100,000 in escrow with the Public Services Department to guarantee that that happens. We've had Peter Holland, who is will be the installer of the sewer. We've had him up at Public Services, and Bob Danisco at Public Services looking at how this is going to be accomplished, because in as much as it's in and functional, when we go to move it, we've probably, I think the way you do that is you got to get a pump truck to receive the effluent that is in the pipe while it's no longer connected. So we're making the appropriate arrangements and working with Public Services to do that right. I would leave these for your file just so that we can begin to understand, but I thought it was important that I take an opportunity that presented itself to kind of bring you up to speed. We're still working at it. We do need the review to be completed for the building that is currently before you, which is the storage building. And we will continue to work with Bob Langley to complete whatever reviews are necessary, whether they be outsourced peers or just staying local. And I'm happy to answer questions that I am able to this evening.
Any questions from the board? Yes.
So right now, are we just discussing what you've brought to date, which is in regards to Lot 3A? Or are we actually
1A.
going to discuss the goings-on 1A, or is that not for tonight?
Yeah, we're here, our discussion for purposes of what is filed that brings me here, that's the construction that wants to take place on 1A. However, one of the questions is, what is the status of the overall project?
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a couple of comments.
So 3A is sort of under your consideration for compliance. Are we where we're supposed to be? And I think that what the board is mindful of is we don't want to give an approval for the front lot that is not well coordinated with the rest of the activity on the lot.
I couldn't agree more.
Huh?
I couldn't agree more. So I was just there about 20 minutes ago, and I see the beginnings of a very large retaining wall, very tall retaining wall, kind of in the southwest corner of that 90-degree turn that's behind the house of Joseph and Christine Medeiros and Alexander Tassal. There's a 90-degree turn right there. So
Yep.
the wall's probably 15 feet tall, 12 to 15 feet tall.
Yeah, that's the wall that I referred to as being, you're correct, that it is extending behind Saltus and Medeiros.
Yeah.
But it is principally behind Haven from Hunger.
Well, not yet, it's not.
No,
It's
no.
on its way there.
That's where it's going.
It's progressing northerly.
You're correct that it started in that
Okay.
90-degree turn corner and is going to go this way.
And you're saying that there's a building permit for that, and
Yes.
all the inspections are being done, and everything's...
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
Is it going to follow that notch in the property that's the Haven from Hunger? Or do you think it's just gonna go straight through right there?
I think that it's going to, it will, yes, there's a carve out.
Yes,
Yeah. It will do
Follow
that
that.
again, yes.
okay. And just another...
On this 2015 plan, that showed as a fence and not a wall, but then as we got into the site and began to see what the consistency, soil consistency, the day we were down there some months ago, the fire department had real concerns that that was so sandy that by putting a fence and not a wall, actually Chris does show it. He shows a fence on top of a wall.
I see.
So in 2015, we were showing a wall there.
Right.
But part of, when we had that meeting a couple of months ago, part of the concern was the fire department was seriously afraid that if they were fighting a fire or responding to an incident at Haven for Hunger, their unit would be unsupported at that elevation.
Yeah, it's...
So that's why this
Looks
wall.
like pure beach sand.
Yes, it does. It's real sandy.
All 10, 12 feet of beach sand, maybe more. Okay, so I just caution you to make sure that, you know, where the DPS is saying that the sewer is not in the middle of the easement, it looks like the building interrupts the easement, and the sewer line touches the corner, practically touches the corner of the building, according to this as-built.
You're right.
Right. So if they want it in the center of the building, then this may necessitate
It probably
having
results
to-
in the easement moving too.
Yes.
Yep,
Okey doke.
yep.
So that's all I have on 3A.
Any other questions from the board? Eric?
And with that, I would respectfully ask that this matter be continued until your next regularly scheduled meeting. Sure.
Mr. Chairman, move to allow the petitioner for 47 Tremont to extend the extension of time to the next planning board meeting, which is the 21st? 21st.
You have a second?
Second.
Dr. Otto, all those in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next item on the agenda is correspondence. Any questions from the board on any of the memos? The memo from Robert Langley, Tybon, proposed development of Residence Inn, North Shore Mall. Again, memo from Robert Langley, Director of Engineering for Planning Board in North Shore Mall, dated August 29, 2023. The Horsley Written Group RE Stormwater Peer Review. Memo from Attorney Kelty, RE Zoning Amendment, Residential Overlay District of August. We did that, and regional notices. Any other matters properly before the board? Hearing none, I'll accept the motion.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Aye.